changes in the garden for this week. Let me show you this little beauty down in here. Y'all see that? My onions are starting to bulb up. And I'm thinking another 3 or 4 weeks and I'm gonna be harvesting almost 200 onions, yellow, white, and red. So I am really, really looking forward to that. These guys are just really looking fabulous. So what I've started doing now that they have started to bulb up, I've gone in here and around their bases, I started pulling away the soil and stuff. They call it spooning, is one of the terms, and it just kind of helps the onions bulb up a little bit. It's just past sunset here. I'm a little late getting my garden walk in, but we have just finished planting out most of the garden, and I wanted to take a minute to show y'all before my week got busy and things started popping up, because I like to get to show y'all the progress. All right, so from the front, let me let y'all get a view of all of this. Greenhouse is lit up. Still got the husband working hard setting all the plant labels. And of course, these first 2 beds are nothing but the onions currently, and that last bed we've just planted the peppers, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Start y'all over here. We have this row of tomatoes, and we're currently at 46 tomatoes here. A number of varieties, not quite as many varieties as I've done in the years past. And I've put a couple of more hybrids than I normally do. Just because last year's harvest was decent, but nowhere near what I thought I should have gotten out of the number of plants we had. So this year I'm kind of doubling down and hedging my bet, putting more of the same varieties down. They all look a little sad. They've been out in the sun all day. But more varieties, more of the same varieties down, and a few that are hybrids. We've got the Bread and Salt. I've got the Hostinator from Haas Tools, the Invincible, the Perron Sprayless, Amish Paste, San Marzano, Cherokee Purple, Black Beauty Tomato. I think I've got one of the Aunt Ruby's German Green. I've got maybe a couple of the White Tomasaw. So I've got a few of the colored ones, but mostly I've got the red slicers and the red paste tomatoes for sauce and salsa and that sort of thing. Here you can see the English peas are growing and starting to trellis their way up our trellis, and our radishes are starting to form and come up, so they'll be ready to harvest and for the next group to go in there. Or we may end up planting more tomatoes, because we just realized that I did not get a single one of these massive cherry tomatoes planted in the ground today, so I've got to figure out somewhere to put them. Now, down the second row here next to the tomatoes, all of this is squash and zucchini. So I've got the straight neck squash, a crook neck squash, one called Slim Pick, a Gold Prize, the Black Beauty zucchini, and I think I ended up with a couple of the Comida squash. And I planted, I think it's 20 something squash plants all right here. Hopefully I can get a pretty decent harvest out of them before the squash bugs or the vine borers find me and I'll lose all my plants. Once they show up, I'm gonna go ahead and plan to start some more squash and zucchini from seed, so that by the time I pull all the squash plants and get the squash bugs out of here, I can have the next generation coming in behind it and hopefully can kind of break some of that cycle. I've also got a couple of squash and a couple of mystery plants right here, and then some more tomatoes down this side. On the inside of this arch, I planted 100 of the Kentucky pole bean green beans today. So this whole arch here, I've got some tomatoes that'll hook to the arch, but won't necessarily climb it, because I'm pretty sure the Ace 55, which is most of what I've got on this side, they're so determinate. So they'll get to a certain height and then stop. They won't keep going and going. But then the green beans can come up and over to the other side where the other currently onion bed is. That I'm thinking we're gonna put like melons in that bed once we get the onions out of there. And then down here on this last trellis, which goes over to the pepper bed, I have about 20 cucumber plants planted. I've just got the two varieties. It's the garden bush cucumber, and then the homemade pickles is the other variety that I tried this year, or I'm gonna try this year. So I've got them. Last year I got literally 2 cucumbers out of my entire garden off of, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 plants. So this year I am making sure I didn't get to make any cucumber pickles. I made pickled green beans and pickled okra and pickled figs last year, but no regular pickles or pickle relish. So I've got about 20 plants, hoping to make sure that that doesn't happen again this year. Somewhere I've got to find a place for all of these cherry tomatoes in these 2-gallon pots. So if you're local and you're looking for a cherry tomato, let me know. I'm happy to help. This last bed here is our pepper bed, and we've got the nata pinos, the habanadas, a sweet banana pepper, and then California bell. We've got a blank space for a couple of the purple beauty bell peppers that aren't quite big enough to come out yet. I've got the Iberia cayenne, couple rows of these Parks Whopper jalapenos. So this is a different variety of jalapeno than I've had the last couple of years, but it's supposed to make a really big jalapeno. So we're gonna see how that does. And then the New Mex Joe Parker pepper is there. And then of course my lovely rose bush is just out doing herself right now, and our massive rosemary, let me take a step back. That thing is probably about 2.5 feet wide right now, and at least 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. It's gotten really big. And then I've got some of the creeping rosemary down here, and in this space in front of it I'm going to plant some more ginger. So that is that. We'll have to keep you updated. And then over here we've got our asparagus bed. So some asparagus I started from seed this year, and they're just really getting up. We missed one of our big transplants this year, but at least I know he made the transplant into his permanent bed, and seems to be pretty happy with it. And that's our windmill. There we go. That's what word I'm looking for. And then this is my beautiful Peggy Martin Katrina rose. It was a gift for my birthday from my good friend Marla Edens. Hey Marla. And I am training it to grow up and around the windmill here, and then I'm going to train it to grow over to my purple fence and run along the fence line. It's my little sparkling thing. My mums are coming back up here in the front bed, and I do believe a few of them have some buds that are about to come out. Yeah, I don't know. Mums in South Mississippi don't seem to know that they're only supposed to grow in the fall. And then our spider lilies here. I've got a couple of sunflowers that are making it through their transplant. And but that's it, guys. That's our look at our garden for today. And I need to get in there and help the poor hubs finish up in our greenhouse. And we've got more plant starts going. We've got some hanging baskets. And then even more tomatoes over here. Some of those are for our sale in a couple of weeks. And who knows, some of them may make their way back into my garden. Anyway, say hi, Woodrow.
Hello. So where are we going to put more tomatoes?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Are you telling me I need to make another garden?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Maybe the neighbors want to.
We'll just take the neighbor's yard. No big deal. All right, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoy this kind of twilight walk in the garden. And look forward to seeing y'all later this week, first of next week. And, you know, continue to click the like button, subscribe so that y'all can watch us grow. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.